All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. Real quick, man. Hope everybody's having a great Monday night. I'm watching Monday Night Football right now, and my team is so bad. They're just not smart. Anyway, y'all know that video coming after this, man. I don't even I don't even know how I'm responding to what I'm watching right now. But anyway, let's talk about it, man. So I had a question. I know I have a good number of Toronto Raptors fans that follow the channel, and thank you guys so much for the support. And I was going through some things today, and I seen something that was interesting. So their top priority right now is to re-sign Steady Freddy, is what I like to call him. And I understand why. I think he's a key component to that team. I like what he brings to that team. He brings that toughness. And I think what he did in the finals last year is often overlooked a lot. You know what I'm saying? And by all means, man, I'm not trying to diminish what Kawhi did. But I'm saying it was times in that when he really was accountable. He was really Mr. Buckets. When things got a little tight. So I understand the need. And then you watch this season, you know, he again emerged. He continued to emerge as one of the key components to that team. So the question is that I have, and I'm gonna refer to Raptor fans on this and anybody else that love the sport of basketball that can get where I'm going with this. The Raptors can offer him a contract under $80 million, right? They can offer him a contract under $80 million and still have a max slot, or should you go ahead and try to max him out? That's key. And the reason why I think I'm bringing this to you guys is because I remember back, if anybody know me, you follow my channel for just an inkling of a little bit. You know, I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. Always have been. I got him as number one. I'm never changing that. I'm never changing that. So, but there was a point towards the end of Kobe's career where it was a 2-year, 48 million he was making or something like that. And you know, the rhetoric became, well, why didn't Kobe eating up all the salary? Kobe shouldn't. I'm pro player. I'm gonna always be pro player. I'm gonna always say a player should get their money. Because listen, this is my logic behind that. A team is going to be here after that player is gone. It's just what it is. I've always said I've always been pro player because, you know, and that's even take me back to, you know, Kevin Durant giving, you know, not taking a max contract, you know, at the beginning of his stint with the Golden State Warriors so they can keep Livingston and Iguodala and all of that. To keep that thing together. And you know, some people thought it was admirable. Me personally, I'm like, I ain't saving no billionaires' money. If they want them, they can keep them. Pay the luxury tax. You can keep these. I'm pro player. I am not changing that because you can trying to give I understand it. It sounds so good. And that's the guys. That like that to me personally. This is just the opinion of Chris. That's the guy. Hey, take less money so we can bring other players in. No, I'm not taking less money because once this contract is up or once my career is up, you're not going to come back. Hey, man, remember that 10, 15 million you help us say, it go a little bit on the side, man. Go ahead take that. I know times are a little rough. No. So I'm pro player. I'm saying player, get your money because at the end of the day, you got to take in consideration that you don't own that team. Whereas the person you're saving money still own that team. That team is still going to make millions and millions of dollars. I say all that to say, in this situation, should the Raptors offer Steady Fred Vanvleet, a less than max contract, and should he accept it, or should he just, you know, pretty much be like, look, if we can get another max player in here. You know, the key is, I think me personally, I think the key is going to be pretty much is a max player willing to come. If they got someone that say, hey, I'm on board, I want to be in Toronto, can we make this happen? Sort of like how Anthony Davis, you know, he had the $3 million option, but the opportunity just to go after Kawhi he, deferred that option, was like, nah, I ain't gonna take it. Let's leave that open so Kawhi can have a max slot if he decide to come to LA, something like that. And I can see that. I'm on board with that, for to an extent. But in this situation, I'm not sure. I don't think Steady Freddie has ever really had a max contract. So this is his opportunity to max it out. Like, so me personally, I think if offer him the max, because the problem is with not offering him the max. It says, oh, you don't think I'm worth the max? You know what I'm saying? Now there's people outside of that Toronto organization that be like, no, you don't deserve the max, you're not a max, blah 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 blah. Well, but if you pay attention to the Raptors team, you know how vital he is to that team and what he brings to the table. And to me, he brings a toughness, an identity, a certain swag to that team that's in my opinion is invaluable. So what I'm saying all this to say, what do you think the Toronto Raptors should do now? If there's one GM that I do trust, if there's one GM in NBA I do trust 100%, that's the Raptors GM Masai Ujiri. I'm 100%. I believe in him. I believe he'll find a way to get this done. But I also believe he's the person that he's about winning. You look at the Kawhi Leonard trade. No one is going to look back on that trade and be like, well, they gave up everything for Kawhi. He left. No, but only when he dropped the ring off before he left. All right, so no one's going to look at that, and that shows you the type of person. And now, do I trust him to get this done? Yeah, try to do what's best for the Raptors as well as take care of his guys. I do. Me personally, you got to look at it from two standpoints. Me personally, from a player, I'm a player supporter. I'm going to say whatever the max you can get your max now, because it ain't guaranteed. I'll give you a prime example real quick, but I don't want to carry this on too long. You look at Isaiah Thomas with the Boston Celtics. He was in line to get that contract, that big contract. He even, and I don't think they was smart, but he even went out to say they're going to have to back the brink trucks up right for me to get my contract, and then he got hurt. And then instead of waiting and healing, he went back out and put it all on the line for that team. And then pretty much for that team to go, nah, we no longer want. Then they traded him, and his career's never been back. He lost at least $100-some million just by trying to put it all on the line for the team, and then the team to turn around and be like, nah, you wounded. We gonna move on from you. My biggest issue with a lot of this is a lot of time when things like that happen, they say, when the organizations do it, they say, oh, it's just business. But when the player decides to manipulate things and go to where they want to go, they say, that's not right. He is not loyal. Listen, in my opinion, instead of Freddie get the max amount of money you can get, at the same time, if I think that organization will find a way to bring in a max player, even if they have to pay the luxury tax, if they really feel that player is worth it. That's my take. Toronto, let me know what you think. Or anybody else, just, let me know what you think. Should they offer him the max, or should they try to leave that max slot? With that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Till next time, you guys be great.